Hey, it's Rivka, and I'm going to take you on a sneak peek walkthrough on the Facebook campaigns that are now available in MailChimp. This is not something secret to me. If you have MailChimp, you can totally go in right now and start creating these campaigns, but I thought it was kind of interesting, so I'm just going to give you a quick video of what this looks like and my thoughts about if it's worth it to create campaigns in MailChimp versus creating them in Facebook or what. So to start, we're just going to click on Create Campaign. We name our campaign just like you would with an email. Campaign type, Facebook ad, and create. Alright, so we got to have the MailChimp terms of use and the Facebook custom audience terms of use. Both of these you should be familiar with if you've done Facebook ads before. Let's take a look at the MailChimp terms of use. This is new terms that are an add-on to the additional terms. So it is important, generally speaking. I do recommend that you actually take the time to read through these because it is legally binding and it is important to understand what you're agreeing to. But it seems just on skimming through it that it's pretty standard stuff. Payment terms and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that is different, even though they charge the same amount, MailChimp doesn't charge you an add-on fee or anything like that to do these ads. From what I've been reading on their blog, it is important to note that they charge you up front and then refund you if you don't use any of those ad credits, which is unlike Facebook. You run the ad and then Facebook charges you after the fact for whatever you ran. So that is one difference that, is neither here nor there, but it's important to understand that once you start running an ad, in order to do it, you have to actually have the money in your account up front to do that. Okay, I accept. All right, we're going to connect Facebook to... So far, again, MailChimp's going to manage your pages. This is all pretty straightforward for pretty much any Facebook app. And then I'm going to connect the Facebook page. Hopefully I can connect the specific Facebook page. And yes, I can because I manage a whole bunch of them. So we're going to just go down to the Beautiful Books Facebook page and save it. So I'm guessing based on this that you can select a different Facebook page for different campaigns because this is all in the campaign here. So I'm guessing that means even if you have one Facebook account or one MailChimp account rather, and you have multiple Facebook pages, you could connect a different page, which there would be different reasons to do that. Okay, audience, edit audience, contacts on a list, engage your list members. You have to have at least 100 contacts to do that. People similar to your list of contacts. You have to have 500 contacts on this particular list to do that. Or people with interests you define. So contacts on a list, this is pretty obvious. This is a way to re-engage your email list on Facebook. People similar to your list, they're going to find similar audiences to who's already on your list. But I'm really interested in, let's see what this people with interests you define, what this looks like. Well, let's scroll through here first. Choose a list. Okay, you can pick the list you want. You can pick the segment you want. This is interesting because you can select unsubscribed contacts. Okay, so this is really worth noting because this is a legal way to re-engage people that may have unsubscribed in the past. Now, if you delete your unsubscribes off your list so that you don't use up more space on your list, you won't be able to do that. But if you've got unsubscribes, you can't continue emailing them, right? Like that's against the ICANN Spam Act. But you absolutely could target them with a Facebook ad because Facebook is a separate platform. You're not sending them an email. So this is actually probably one of the most interesting features to me of this whole thing is the ability to re-engage your unsubscribes. Maybe redirect them to sign up again or send them, to a special or a deal or an offer that you have going on, and you could even specifically target it to them, saying, hey, it's been a while, whatever. right? So that is really fascinating to me that you can specifically get unsubscribes. And I think that that's something really worth exploring if you have a lot of unsubscribes. Another area that you might have a lot of unsubscribes on this is if you've got, maybe you've had a lot of changes in your business and you've responded to the things that were making people unsubscribe. You've either changed your content or you've changed the way you market or you've added some new products or services that address maybe some of their concerns that you weren't meeting before. This is perfect because that allows you to let those people know who have opted out from an email basis about some of those changes. And, if they liked you once, maybe you're able to recapture them. Okay, so let's see people with interest you define. Let's take a look at how that works. Located in, all right, so you can define by location. Looks like it doesn't let you get any more specific than country. So if you have a super local business, that might not be as helpful. So it looks like these are basically a scaled down version of the targeting options you have in a Facebook boost post, except a little more limitation with location. All right, so location, gender, age range, interests. So this is going to be keywords. This is also going to be a little different here, I'm guessing, but let's just start typing in and see. Okay, so it does actually give you prompts of ideas of keywords to select, like it does in the Facebook group. Okay, so we'll save that. All right, setting the budget, that's a separate thing. Set the budget and add a payment method. What do you want to say? Okay, so I love that they have these design tips for Facebook ads. Let's open this up real quick. Paid feature. So you have to have the paid version of MailChimp. Always good to know. And it gives you kind of a description of each of the pieces and gives you some examples of what that looks like. Minimize text in your images. This is always an important thing to remember. 20% or more of its pixels dedicated to text. And here is the Facebook grid tool so that you can actually check your images. I will link this in the blog post attached to this video. All right, so this allows us to just create the ad. Let's see how this works. I think this is one of the things that is going to be helpful if you're not really familiar with using Facebook ads. It streamlines it a little bit more. So we've got the message for the ad, what they're calling a card, and you can add multiple ones, 1200 by 628 pixels, or a carousel is 1080 by 1080 pixels, so it gives you the exact recommended sizes there. And you can add multiple images if you want. Website URL is required, so you have to send them somewhere. But remember, if you're doing a Facebook ad and your goal is to get maybe, for example, your email subscribers to like you on Facebook, you can link to your Facebook URL, right? Like we think of a website URL, we often think of our own website and that's all we think about. But your Twitter is a URL, your Facebook is a URL, so you can throw that in there too if you wanted to use Facebook advertising. And I think you're going to see a lot. I don't have any tests to prove this. This is just my thought process based on everything else I've done before. What I think is going to happen if you create an ad, for example, that is targeting your email list versus, like right now we're targeting by audience. But if I decided to switch this and I decided to target my contacts on a list and I want them to like my Facebook page, I'm probably going to have a much better luck getting them to like my Facebook page from Facebook, right? Because if it's a website URL, all they have to do is be on Facebook and click. You know they're already logged in and like, versus sending them an email saying, go like our Facebook page. Sending an email to say, go like our Facebook page often does not get awesome conversion rates. So I think this is a much more targeted strategy to get those people to like your page that could be super effective if you want to integrate your email list and your Facebook page more effectively. Okay, title, add a headline. And to be clear, All of this stuff is stuff that you can do in Facebook ads, but I agree, this is a much more streamlined, simple way to do it. All right, so website URL, title, button, these are all the same call to action buttons: learn more, contact, subscribe, sign up, shop now, buy now, donate now, that are in Facebook, and then brief description, save and close. Now it's not going to let me save and close because I haven't entered anything, so we'll just do that, and let's go back and see if we can look at any more of the features of this and here's where it shows you the estimated reach based on your targeting. So right now I'm targeting everyone in the US 18 to 65 with no interests. Clearly I need to define that. I need to edit that down if I want an effective ad. You do not want something with a total reach of 207 million people. Okay, so we got the budget, and then, yeah, once you fill that in, you can just submit ads. So overall, if you're using MailChimp, I really like this as a new option that's available for you to do easier, more streamlined Facebook ads. I think it's going to be still super important that you understand best practices about targeting and really think through that. Sometimes when things are easier, people don't pay attention to all the variables and they just like click, click, click through. You know, you want to take some time to understand what keywords are going to reach your audience effectively if you're doing a targeted list to interests you define. I think the most powerful integration, obviously, is to make streamlining this with your email list much, much simpler than it would be otherwise. And yeah, so I would love to hear your results. If you have MailChimp, are you going to use Facebook ad campaigns in MailChimp? What other questions do you have about how this works? And maybe we can do some more tutorials. And as I do some other testing and other stuff, I will definitely let you know.